Well, welcome to Beans, Brews and Bread for mid-April. It is a beautiful Sunday evening here down at Lanehead's Allotments. So we're going to have a bit of a plot tour, see what we've got in. Things are growing now. I think we can safely say spring's here. It's been so dry of late, but we've had a little bit of rain today. That'll just be perfect for the seedlings. So let's go and have a look. Well, everything's really coming along now at the plot. So happy we've had all this lovely spring weather. The temperatures have been quite hot actually for spring, quite surprised. But April, we've had not much in the way of showers, which I'm really surprised at. We had a little bit today, less than a millimetre perhaps. Little shower maybe expected into next week, but just enough hopefully to keep the seedlings going. I've had to keep them going myself with the taps only getting turned on this week at the plots. Had to been relying on the well and the standpipe to get the water onto the seedlings and the new plants. So we're going to have a tour now. We'll see what we've got set up, tidying up a bit. A few things in motion for getting ready for the warmer weather crops. But stay to the end, and we've got a little bit of an update on something a bit special as well. So let's go and have a look at the rest of the plot. So we've got the first early potatoes in, second early potatoes, and the shallots, and one line or half a row of main crop. So we got the first earlies in. Down here we got the swift. We then had another one, which was Pentland Javelin. We then got some Allotment main crop, got some Charlottes in, and also some British Queens. Put them in on St Patrick's Day, possibly a little bit too early. I'll do a swivel round in a minute, and you can see the horns have started now. We did have one night of frost. It got down to about 1 or 0, and it did burn the swift new potatoes tips and did set them back a bit. But fingers crossed we've managed to get them hilled up and also covered with a bit of fleece. Probably take this off now. I've been looking at the short range weather forecast, and I don't think we're forecast another frost, although next weekend might be a bit cool again. So flip you around and we'll go and see how things are looking on the spuds. So yeah, as you can see here, these are coming through, but they did get a little bit of burn just on the tips. So what I did was I put the fleece down, got that down over the first sort of 3 rows. You can see them popping through, struggling against the fleece back down there. And then these ones have come up after the frost. You see just how different those leaves are compared to those after getting frost burned. So fingers crossed. I'll just take the cover off and you can just see, yeah, they have been knocked back a bit with that frost, sort of all crisped all the tips and the leading shoots. So it might knock them back a bit, but we did get, like, yeah, see, it does really slow them down. So yeah, I think if I put them in on St Patrick's Day next year as opposed to Easter weekend, I think we should put some fleece down straight afterwards, and maybe even put a bit of wire in to keep the fleece off the tips. But yeah, that's not too bad in parts, but quite fried and crispy in others. So anyway, one more row or half a row of main crop to pot in there. It's the Alouette, who's the main crop, which is in the far end. Got this path to sort of break up. I've kind of technically made a trench already, really, for the spuds. So get that sorted out. We've got this bit, which will be the summer crops, I think, for this year, or the cabbages. I'm thinking summer crops because now time is starting to get on a bit, and that is going to then probably have to be for some brassicas, because it might look a bit hillocky, but that's not too bad to clear up. And we've got the sheeting to remove and the old fence panels and stuff, and the path to sort out, but that should then be work that I can get done after the brassicas have gone in. I've got the apple tree here, which is starting to put on some leaf, so that's positive. So I have decided I'm going to go with the sort of weed suppressing paths again. It wasn't too difficult sticking it down, folding it in half. This is slightly more hard duty stuff than what I did have down, which was the sort of more fabric. This is the woven plastic. I didn't really want to put more plastic down, but realistically it's the only way I can really keep a path. And I was going to try sort of rows in beds, but I did the calculations on it and I just think it'd be a waste of space. So yeah, not brill, but really the best I can do for this year, I think, at least on those paths, those 3 paths there. Over here I've got a few peas in. Got the, I think that's the Hurst green shaft there. Got a nice row of that there. That's all come up pretty well within the last sort of week. And then got this row here of Meteor, which was the very early stuff we put in. That was the second sowing. The first sowing was there and I did have to re-sow that. It was all under the ground and shooting and going in all kinds of strange directions, so not entirely sure what went on with that, but perhaps a bit too early. Cloches did warm the soil up a bit, but maybe the peas needed a bit more warmth to germinate. But they've got, okay, sort of a succession there between the ones that have come up, and we'll have hopefully some shoots off those soon, and then some to follow on from that. We've got a row in front here, which I've not marked up yet, but that's Oregon Sugar Pod. I do like that pea, really great pea for sugar snap peas. And I'm warming the soil up again over here for another sowing in a week or two's time with the cloches, which have worked really well in getting these first salad crops going. I did think I wasn't going to have any germination on the spring onions, but look. So I'll get this hand weeded again. Done it 2 or 3 times already. Got the Tom Thumb here at the front, and then we've got some radish at the back with a little row of spring onions in front. So giving that hand weed. After that we've got the spinach, Matador and Madania. I'm not entirely sure which is which, unfortunately, because I threw them all over the shop. We've then got some Chima Rapa, 60 day, which is coming up. Couldn't really tell the difference between the weeds and the Chima Rapa, so just letting that grow out. I've weeded in between the rows, something like a raspberry or something cropping up there in the middle, but we'll see how that goes. Then got the broad beans, got the Aqueducta Claudia, given that a good couple of hoes over the last few weeks. I think that's all I'll do for this year for broad beans. Don't really, I've got some still in the freezer. We do use it, we do like eating it, but like I say, it's just one of those things that, you know, how many plants is that? Sort of 9, 18, sort of 30 odd plants probably. 33, that's not too bad. And then over here, I have actually put a bit of green manure down this path. I'm trying the idea of a green manure path. So I have seeded that, as you can probably tell. It might be a bit thick, but the birds don't seem to have got at it. So I'm going to give that another water today. And I'll keep on mowing that. The ground was really hard. Trying to think. That's part of the reason also trying to think of keeping the paths elsewhere, because that'd be a real nightmare to dig out now. The beds have been they're quite soft, so, and these are a bit on the large side bed wise. Really only want to keep them to sort of 5 feet if I can. But as an allium bed, you can stick a plank in the middle and weed around it, so not too bad. I've got the onions here at the front, and the shallots, a few volunteer potatoes, I think from last year, cropping up as well. I don't mind volunteers, you know. I think actually we had volunteer potatoes here one year before that, and I think it was the best yield I'd ever got on one of them, so very happy to let them grow. Some garlic in the middle, down there, another row of garlic, and then, as I said, there's again some salady crops, very early sowings, which are coming along absolutely brilliant. Tiny little radishes and lettuce, but I'm happy with those. Tom Thumb I think sort of remain ballon. They're coming along now, giving them a hand weed, and then there's a row of tom thumb which was stuff from the house as seedlings, which are just putting at the front row, keeping things going along, which is good. After that, over here the sprouting broccoli. Look, it's even coming through the net, which I don't mind so much. I think I might take a bit of that this week. I'm not entirely sure what's what here. Some of it's saying sprouting broccoli, some of it doesn't. So take some spears and let the other stuff go through and see what comes up. Might be heading broccoli rather than sprouting. But I'm happy to give them a bit of time to work themselves out. Now this was the cabbage as well. Now I think nothing was going to come of these. These didn't look great at all over winter. Tiny little plants. But look just how much these are heading up. So I think a bit of water on these with a bit of rain, and I think they're going to make a massive difference. We'll actually get some spring cabbage from an autumn sowing. I can't believe it. But yeah, I'm happy to go with that. Over here, we had a bit of an accident with one of the cloches, unfortunately. But I'll use this for. I'm going to put some melons in here. I'm going to put 2 melon plants in. I'm going to put some liners in. I've got a much bigger windows at home which will fit this, so I'll get, if not 1 but 2 over this. Sort out a bit of a light system for them so they can also give a bit of ventilation, and we'll put up a couple of melons in here. I think give them a go. Some nice rich compost which I'm going to transfer from home. In these containers I've been using the cast off soil and the weeds and stuff from doing the potato beds to put some of the spare potatoes in. Got a few in there as well. Some main crop, second early. And in that one I've got some Jerusalem artichokes, which I thought I was going to put into the beds, but I thought, you know what, I'm not quite decided where I'm going to put the perennial bed yet. I'm thinking of putting them against where sort of that staging is and some of those poles, and I'm thinking that might be the perennial bed. But until that's cleared up, I can't really stick them in, and they were sprouting, so they've been buried in there. The advantage of that is, as well, is with it being a perennial crop, and once you've got Jerusalem artichokes, you can't really get rid of them again. I'm happy to keep those in containers, so a little bit of an idea there. I think I might end up having to string them though, because their foliage will get quite tall, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, I've got some potatoes, as I say, some of the first earlies coming through here, look. On that one and that one. So, yeah, keeping those watered in the containers. Not looking too bad. Can't believe those cabbages. So, thanks for watching today on Beans, Brews and Bread. If you've got any comments, just type below. Any suggestions, or just tell us what you're growing. What have you been most impressed with? Like, I can't believe those cabbages have done so well over winter. Have you had anything that you've overwintered? Write down below in the comments and give us an idea what you're most impressed with that you've overwintered this year. First little salad harvest for 2025. Might not look much, but that is really early for me. I can't believe that we've been able to get that with the use of those cloches, warming the ground up, then getting the radish in February. That I'm really happy with. Don't think you can knock much as your first pea shoots for the season, so let's go and have a taste. They're great in a salad. I know most people only grow them for peas, pudding and sugar snap peas, but they're a really substantial vegetable. Obviously you're cutting your harvests, but in theory I think the more you tip them, the more they grow, so maybe set a bit of space aside for some pea shoots on your pot this year. So from a beautifully sunny Sunday afternoon on the plot, thanks for watching. If you've liked it, grateful if you give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button, the bell icon, you'll get notified the next time we've got a video. Thanks for watching, see you next time. Bye! There we go.